Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. Today we'll inform you that on the 9th and 10th of Muharram, obviously due to reverence, no significant political activity takes place. Naturally, the overall system also comes to a standstill during this period. However, attention will shift to the coming week, as it is expected that a detailed protest strategy may be revealed. As per the instructions of Imran Khan, the protest strategy will be shared after the 10th of Muharram, and work on that front will begin. A press conference was also held today in this regard, and videos have emerged. PTI leaders are now finalizing this plan. We will share the details with you. In Waziristan today, an important peace jirga took place, which we will also discuss. Additionally, the date for Senate elections has been announced. The schedule has been released, and we'll cover that too. There are also reports circulating that Asif Ali Zardari may be dismissed. We'll evaluate how much truth there is to that. Moreover, there's a comparison being drawn between Sanam Javed and a female military officer who recently went viral giving a lecture. Her clip was widely discussed. These stories are all part of today's vlog. I request you to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Now, first of all, let me tell you that Salman Akram Raja and other Punjab Assembly members held a press conference today. Salman Akram Raja especially stated that the protest strategy is fully prepared and that there's no weakness in the provincial government that could allow threats to bring it down or force it into compromise. He added that this time they have crafted a different strategy that will surprise everyone. He said they know their opponents wouldn't hesitate to open fire, and therefore they won't expose their children to bullets. They will ensure their protection and will launch a nationwide strategy to keep the children safe. This was the main highlight of his speech. He also mentioned that he's already spoken to imprisoned individuals like Shah Mahmud Qureshi and will consult with them again. At the same event, Malik Ahmed Pasha stated that there were threats that 26 of their members would be de-seated, and the Assembly Speaker even submitted a reference to the Election Commission in this regard. He declared that protesting in front of Maryam Nawaz is not a legal offence and that they will proceed with their protest. If they are stopped from doing so, they will hold an assembly outside. These seats mean nothing to them. If the government thinks they can silence them through fear and threats, they're mistaken. Speaking out is their right, and they will certainly protest. He emphasized that they won't sit silently and act like well-behaved mute and deaf students listening to Maryam Nawaz's lectures. Salman Akram Raja also raised objections today, questioning the mentality that seeks to de-seat elected representatives. Honestly speaking, he had to react. Even I was thinking, imagine if these 26 PTI members were not just suspended, but actually de-seated. That would be a huge joke and spectacle for democracy. Tomorrow, if any government thinks it can remove the opposition's majority by a few members here and there, then toppling governments becomes a trivial matter. The Speaker, who always belongs to the majority party, could simply say, these members created a disturbance, so let's de-seat them. Then they could rig by-elections and secure their majority. This would render the whole democratic process meaningless. Forming and toppling governments, de-seating members and holding by-elections would lose all significance. This is an extremely foolish, ignorant and undemocratic action, like giving a matchbox to a monkey and watching it light fires. What more shame could be brought to them? It shows the extreme fascist mindset, as if a few slogans are enough to justify de-seating elected representatives. That's the current scenario. Anyway, regarding the protest strategy, Junaid Akbar Khan also released a message. He said that no matter the internal differences, people must not worry about who the leader is or whom they're following. What matters is that they're coming out for Imran Khan, putting aside all differences to respond to his call. This was a strong, positive message. An important point today was that according to the protest plan, various roads might be blocked. When protests happen simultaneously in different cities and at multiple spots within the same city, it becomes difficult for the police to reach every place and launch a crackdown. However, this only becomes challenging if a large number of people participate. If the turnout is low, the local police can manage it easily. But if the crowd is large, then it becomes hard to control. So let's see what the final version of the strategy looks like. Apparently, an announcement may be made after the 10th of Muharram. Halima Khan also stated today that they are satisfied with the strategy that's been developed. Let's wait and see how and when the surprises are rolled out. Moving forward, the situation in Waziristan is quite problematic. As you know, there have been incidents of terrorism and recently drone attacks as well. In response, local residents held a protest and a large peace jirga today. A significant number of tribal people from Waziristan participated, demanding peace in their region. It seems that although there was initially some discussion about launching operations in these areas, there was political resistance and opposition to it. But now it appears that despite opposition, operations may still be ongoing. Given the drone attacks and military operations reported in recent weeks, the local tribes have come out saying they do not want military operations in their regions. They want peace. This was a significant event. However, I did not see any clear representation from the provincial government, nor has PTI made a clear stance on whether they support the locals' demand. Although the official policy of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government seems to be against military operations, the ongoing situation suggests otherwise. There have been regular reports of operations, and we've seen at least 3 or 4 drone attacks in the past month. This all points to a continuous operation in the region. It's high time for a clear policy statement, but there has been complete silence so far. Imran Khan had stated that the government should register furs against these drone attacks and hold those responsible accountable. But we've seen no such file filed. Only a resolution was passed in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Assembly. But no fire or legal action has been taken, nor has anyone come forward to explain whether it will be done or not. If it hasn't been done, then why not? There seems to be no follow-up at all. On the other hand, there's a concern being raised by various parties in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa that when it comes to minerals, there may be an attempt in the upcoming legislation to shift control from the provincial to the federal government. If this happens, it would mean that the federal government could independently make deals with foreign entities or decisions regarding Khyber Pakhtunkhwa's mineral resources, whether or not the provincial government is on board. This concern exists because even Trump had expressed interest in Pakistan's minerals, so all of this creates a suspicious situation. Anyway, these were the issues related to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Now let's talk about the overall scenario currently unfolding. There has been a development in the Al-Qadir Trust case. The order from the last hearing has been issued. According to it, the National Accountability Bureau's prosecutor requested more time to prepare the case, and that request has been granted. However, the order doesn't specify how long this extension is or when the next hearing will be. This essentially means that Imran Khan's case has been delayed again. Why am I saying this? Well, because the Islamabad High Court is now on summer break. Chief Justice Sarfraz Dogar will remain available for hearings, but other judges are going on vacation from time to time. The judge hearing Imran Khan's case, Justice Asif, is also part of the same bench with the Chief Justice. While the Chief Justice will be present, Justice Asif is going on leave and won't be available for most of the month. He'll return at the end and then go back on leave again after a week. So apparently, during the summer break, it's unlikely that any hearing on Imran Khan's case will take place. Now, although it's normal practice for bail cases to be heard during vacation, and benches can be reconstituted if necessary, this case hasn't even reached the argument stage. Only notices have been issued so far. The National Accountability Bureau then said they needed to appoint a prosecutor. When the prosecutor finally appeared, he said they still needed to review the entire case, so arguments haven't even started yet. If Justice Asif hasn't even heard the case yet, a new bench could technically be formed with another judge to hear it from scratch. But such steps only happen if there is intent. And right now, the intent seems to be to delay this case indefinitely and keep it pending. Therefore, I don't see any hope that a bench will be formed soon or that Imran Khan's bail case will be scheduled. Meanwhile, another major development today is that the date and schedule for the Senate elections, which are set for July 21st, have been released. This is what I told you in my last vlog, that since they've strengthened the opposition a bit in the KP Assembly, they will now go ahead with Senate elections and try their best to secure a 2/3 majority for the ruling parties. Now, since the schedule has been released, polling will happen in about 15 days and senators will be elected. What will be interesting is whether PTI is able to secure 6 or 7 Senate seats, as predicted. If they manage this, it will show that their MPAs, or provincial members, are united, not bought off or aligned with the government. However, if they win fewer seats than expected, it would indicate that some of their own members are in contact with the ruling parties. Although ANP and GUIF are saying they're not interested in no-confidence motions and prefer to remain in the opposition, these elections will reveal the truth. So these developments will give us important insights into what's really going on. Now let's talk about Maryam Nawaz. She has put up various banners and posters in relation to Muharram. Muharram is a month when Muslims become emotionally involved, especially with the memory of how Imam Hussein, peace be upon him, and his family were deprived of water in the Battle of Karbala. So people honour that sacrifice by setting up free water stations or sabils for passers-by and mourners without any show-off, just for the sake of reward and remembrance. But what's happening here is that even these sabils are being used for self-promotion. I saw banners that made me feel ashamed, advertising that the sabil has been arranged by Chief Minister Maryam Nawaz for the mourners. I mean, come on. Whether rich or poor, everywhere people set up sabils selflessly. This isn't a Sunni Shia thing either. People do this sincerely, without publicity, without turning it into a spectacle or bragging about it. But these shameless individuals paste their own faces even on water stations, trying to act like they're doing the people a favour. They just can't miss a chance for self-promotion. It shows their mental bankruptcy. Honestly, even their own people are starting to distance themselves. But this specific act truly pained me. Can't you set your ego aside for once? Can't you just let people remember the actual sacrifice of Muharram? You're out here using even water distribution to gain political mileage. Shame on that mindset. That's really the only thing I can say. On the other hand, there has been a comparison going around between Sanam Javed and Captain Eman Durrani, the military officer whose recent video drew criticism. A lot of people, especially government supporters, came forward to discredit Sanam Javed as a counterattack and tried to compare her with Eman Durrani. Some even used extremely vulgar and offensive language. Let me make something clear. While people did criticize Eman Durrani's statements, there wasn't personal or vulgar criticism from known accounts. Instead of defending Eman's statements with logic, these people thought, let's take revenge by launching a character assassination campaign against a PTI woman, and they chose Sanam Javed, who had nothing to do with the issue. They started attacking her character and making absurd comparisons. When people were asked, who would you want your daughter to be like, Sanam Javed or Eman Durrani? Many responded, we would want our daughter to be like Sanam Javed, who bravely endured jail, a jail most men couldn't survive. She proved her courage. So my point is, look at the mentality of these people. When they run out of arguments, they resort to insult and slander. And while respect and dishonor are in God's hands, some people are still honored by him, while others degrade themselves. But the point is, when they lack logical responses, they stoop to these petty tactics. Anyway, Sanam Javed is a brave woman. No doubt about that. Yes, people can criticize her views or statements. Criticism is fair. But trying to assassinate someone's character just to get revenge on someone else is a despicable mentality. That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.